Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, YouTubers. Anytime I say good morning, good afternoon, or good afternoon, good evening, good morning, you'll know that I'm just slightly not all here. Had a visit this morning from my son-in-law and a grandson. Several grandsons, and one of them actually came to visit me, so I sent him home with a coffee. I gave him 3 Coffee Blast chocolate bars that I bought at a thrift store, discount grocery place, whatever. Doodads in El Dorado Springs. Anyway, they came by, and while we're talking in here, I'll do an unboxing later, but Jersey had managed to come up with a credit card purchase of an electric furnace. So that's awesome, because this furnace here made a loud, like a roaring noise the other day. Tank is low, and I'm thinking it's probably about empty, and it's a big tank, and we don't have the money to fill it, so that will get me by. And then also, Jeff brought me, yahoo, yippee, thank you, Lord, a propane tank. Just in case the propane does go out, then I just won't use the heater at all. I'll use that for warmth, and I can carry that around and put it in the bathroom or the bedroom. And it's not cold enough for the pipes to freeze and break or anything. They did freeze over the winter, she told me, but not to worry right now at all. But I can still cook for a long time on that little tank there. It's full. So last night, the only reason I'm doing this is because last night I had a steak and I was cutting it up, and it was really deep in vegetables, and I was just cutting it down to size by laying one piece on another one, because I have a what do you call it, a tomato knife with a kind of little spikes, double spikes on the end. That's the only fork I've got, and then a tiny little paring knife as a cutting knife. So I would hold it down, and so I was cutting it, just to not cut under the pan and scratch the pan or whatever. So I got done, and guess what? There's a perfect, I bet you, if I put my quick angle on that, a 120 degree double diamond, where's my pointer, my quintessential pointer here. All right. If you divide the OzArk Plateau from here to here, this on the west side is almost a perfect equilateral triangle, a wedge. George Washington saw in his vision, the inhabitants of the land were driven inland from the east. Where are you at here? From the east to the west, and from the north and the south were driven to the center of the country. Well, the OzArk Plateau is in the center of the country, and from the north, or from the south, or from the east, or from the west, it would look like a wedge if people were crammed in there, and I believe they will be. So, and another thing interesting about this, I see this a lot of rocks I find. I don't know if you can see, but it's wider on the bottom there. Almost every rock I find is, if it's oriented north to south and all that, it's really thick there, and I just think that's really weird. So the friend drove me down to almost to Texas one day. Left his place at 4 o'clock in the morning. We got back to the cabin at midnight, and he drove the whole way, 20 solid hours driving, to take me down to see the edge of the craton. Okay. Where between Dallas, Fort Worth, and on down here, the craton goes right in between Dallas, Fort Worth, but Highway 69 going through Oklahoma, almost to Texas. We finally hit the craton edge, and it's like a vertical wall, but not where like this is. Normally it's stratified horizontally. You see a foot of layer and a foot layer and a foot layer and a foot layer. Not so. This was like that, perfectly sheer face. So it was as if the upheaval was so sudden and so severe that it got pushed up, and that top layer of rock is standing vertically like that. And there's places where you can drive up and put your hand out the window and touch it from the road. So the very first time I posted on the Craton, a guy wrote me he said, I grew up in Oklahoma there, and yeah, there's a 75 to 100 foot vertical wall there, and it must have been one heck of an earthquake, he said, to cause that. So anyway, food's getting cold. I'm hungry, and I'm going to go back to bed. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm wiped out. We did a tour of the barn. I'll post that, upload that too. Tour of the farm again with my grandson and Jeff. So anyway, this is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant.